Welcome to episode 17 of the MMG podcast. I am Chris, and I'm joined by the man, the myth, the legend, Gocubs.
Check out Sonic Forces where you can see my original character. Original the character.
Wait, really?
No, I don't have Sonic Forces.
uh,
Or
uh,
it's a joke.
is it? Is there?
You can create your
Your own
own
OC.
Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot about that aspect of the game. I know that like, the Grumps they just uploaded their playthrough, so I have to see that.
My friend bought it today and beat it today.
Is that a
So
good or bad thing?
take that as you will, but it's
Okay.
$40 and it took him about 8 hours to beat it.
Okay,
Maybe, probably a lot less.
so definitely
5 or 6
trash.
hours.
Definitely trash. All right. Anyways, welcome everyone to our week 9 or sorry, week 10 podcast.
10.
And
We've reached double digits.
and you know what? I gotta say, week 10 has a lot of potential for fun because in past few years, week 10 has had a lot of high stakes games and has always delivered us some of like the best games of the year. Last year I know Patriots Seahawks was like really freaking good.
Ooh, yeah.
But there was a lot of other ones that were earlier today that were pretty good as well. So just generally speaking, week 10 is one of my favorite weeks of the season. I don't know why. It just happens that way. I hope we get that again this week. Um, but we'll see. I would say week 9 was okay. We had some
Yeah.
nice games. Not anything great.
I
But
was I personally I was really satisfied on Monday night.
oh, for sure.
Yeah.
I completely understand that. We'll talk about that in a little bit. I'm gonna try. I usually take a while to really go through these games, so I'm gonna try my best to go through them quick. I say that a lot, and I never end up doing so. But I'm gonna try sincerely. So let's go ahead. Let's recap week 9 real quick, and we're gonna start with the Bills at the Jets, and uh, really coming into this, you had the Bills having really high expectations. People said, this is the time for the Bills to finally break their playoff drought. Jets, they're kind of on a skid, but my goodness, the Jets come out and swung and just completely decimated the Jets. Not,
all
yeah, go ahead.
all the Jets are doing is ruining their draft picks.
It's true though. It's like
Yeah.
not even the tanking didn't even go as planned. Like the Jets just never know what never get their
Yeah.
priorities straight.
They were supposed to tank this season. And you know what they're not doing?
They're not
Tank.
taking. But you know what though? If the Jets play the way they did on Thursday night, they're a real threat. I think because you're looking at that defense finally woke up completely, getting multiple sacks against the Bills, and the the offense. Josh McCown, I believe, has the second best quarterback rating in the league right now.
Josh McCown for president. No one believed me.
Yeah, and he's just playing. He's playing surprisingly well. I still think he's gonna end up getting injured one of these days because that's just
I
been
mean, probably.
his career. Unfortunately, has been like that. But the offense kind of looked good. The defense is looking good. It's like it's just a weird Jets team. Looking at 4-5 and potentially 5-5 next week. Bills, uh, they're not out of it, and I'm sure that they're going to have that they will be able to rebound at some point. But that was just a rough loss to look at for a team that was originally five
Yeah.
and two going into it.
I actually had a jazz gig at a bar while this game was going on, and every once in a while I would look over the score and be like, "Huh, that's weird."
Yeah, I mean, like, and it just shows that, like, I don't know, that you can't get too hyped about teams early on because it's just
Right.
because they may end up just crushing your soul.
Well,
Um,
I wouldn't consider this early on. We're middle of season.
sure, but I
Yeah.
meant in the sense that like even in the mid season to say that like I don't know the Bills were like destined for the playoffs. Like, well, hold on a second. I think this was a wake up call for people.
Right.
with this win. But we'll see. Maybe with Calvin Benjamin, they didn't have him last game. He's got to make his debut this week, I'm sure. He might make a big difference for them going forward. So
Yeah.
we'll see. Next, the Rams of the Giants, and I gotta say, this is really heartless of me. I hated the fact that the Giants lost 51-17. That was just it was awful, and it really summed up our year in a nutshell.
Good.
But I just had so much fun watching the Rams play. They are a very very fun team to watch, and they just I mean the best play of the game was on 3rd and like 33.
Mm.
They were able to convert and like run all the way to the end zone. Bad Giants defense, but very fun Rams offense, and it was a recipe for disaster for them for the G-men. But I'm excited for a 6-2 Rams team. That's gonna be a very interesting storyline going forward. And by the way, NFL, please flex the Packers out of Sunday Night Football 2 weeks from now. That's Packers Steelers. Flex that out and put Saints Rams in there.
Holy shit.
Please.
Oh my god.
Because
that sounds amazing.
I would hate the fact if I miss out on watching that game live. Please flex it. Please. Anyways, did you have something to say, or we're good?
No, just okay. that matchup is going to be fucking great.
Yeah.
I hope it is.
Yeah, I hope so too. Next up, Ravens at Titans. Unfortunately, we got this one wrong, but good for the Titans, who once again the wins matter. They get the 23. They won 23-20 at the end of a close game, and this Titans team still isn't great. They're still like kind of just winning games when they can and not really dominating at any times, but it matters. It matters. Keep on going, and we'll see what happens. Ravens, they're back to a losing record, and I don't know what's going.
I don't think their season is going anywhere.
Yeah, I don't know. They may play spoiler here and there. I just don't think that they're going to make a huge splash going forward.
Yeah.
Moving forward, the Buccaneers at the Saints. Hey, by the way, go Cubs. Did you eat any W's today?
Well, I don't want to have this conversation.
Well, no, I'm curious. I mean, because it's really important, especially to Jameis Winston.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there. I think Jameis Winston, like, both the fact that his team is tanking and that Florida State is tanking, is the whole thing is just kind of getting to him. And yeah, he's having a hard time processing it all, and just it's coming out in
I mean
very interesting way.
They're not eating those W's to increase their nutritional value, and they instead they're just licking the L's off the ground.
Yep.
It is really bad news for the Buccaneers. Lost 30-10 to the Saints on Sunday. And then on Monday, they find out that Jameis Winston will be sidelined for a few weeks because of a shoulder injury. So he's out. And so is Mike Evans for next week as well. Yeah. Mike Evans is suspended because he decided to blindside one of the Saints cornerbacks, Marshawn Lattimore. And so he's gone. And you're looking at your two best offensive players out for next week against the Jets, and it's just really bad news overall.
Put your faith in Ryan Fitzpatrick, Chris.
Well, look, I did, and it did not work out for me. But it's just really sad for the Buccaneers, who I really had so many high hopes for them going into the season.
Everyone did.
Hard Knocks was they were like these Hard Knocks sweethearts, that they were playoff sleepers and all that, and nope, it all goes out the window.
Trash.
And
they're the trash team that you expect them to be.
Unfortunately, Saints though 6-2, looking good on offense, looking good at defense, all around good team. Gang NFL, Keep an eye on Week 12. Anyways, Broncos at Eagles, another 50 burger by the Eagles.
50
Over.
burger. Okay.
Yeah, that's actually that's what they call it, 50 burger. The 51-23 victory over the Broncos. Yeah, Broncos, great defense, allowing 51 points there. Good job, guys. So like, I'm kind of sick of people being like, oh no, the quarterback is the only issue. No.
No.
It's your whole fucking team now, because I get it, you have some great defensive players. Von Miller is still great and all. You're not getting it done.
You let 51 points get scored.
Right. A good defense, even against an amazing offense like the Eagles, you just don't do that. Jay Ajayi scored a touchdown in his debut, by the way. That was pretty neat.
Yeah.
But Broncos now have to face New England next week. Eagles go into a bye, 8-1, and are the best team in the NFL, arguably, of course. But I mean, record-wise, no question. And
because that's how math works.
Yes, exactly. So very good. Should be Philadelphia fans should be feeling pretty good about themselves. Bengals at Jaguars, the battle of the AFC Cat Bowl.
AFC Cat Bowl.
Yeah, and the Jaguars shut down the Bengals 23-7. Even without Leonard Fournette, who was a surprise inactive on Sunday, Jalen Ramsey getting ejected after shoving AJ Green and then AJ Green choking him out.
Yeah, that wasn't a good thing to happen.
Yeah, AJ Green
definitely
also
didn't help me, but we'll get to that later.
Yeah, AJ Green was ejected as well, of course, and the Jaguars still ended up dominating that team, and they were once again, I'll say it again, Bortles. He's doing all right. He's not making mistakes.
Bortles.
He's finally
Bortle up.
He's finally doing. I mean, he's certainly not the number 3 overall, pick of the 2014 draft type quality talent, but he is at least a little bit, getting his groove on, and that defense is just stellar. Marcel Darius debuted, by the way, and he was the stopper of runs. Really a great debut by him. The Falcons at Panthers. A Julio Jones drop in the end zone was basically what kind of swayed this game.
Yeah.
And the Panthers ended up winning 20-17. Panthers moved to 6-3.
The Panthers have such a weird season this year, because like their record shows that, like, hey, they're a pretty good team. They might be playoff worthy. But the games that they've won and the ones that they've lost, I feel like they're hanging by a thread this season.
Mm-hmm.
And they're just barely scraping by, like, at every opportunity.
It is, and I mean, their defense has played really well this season, but it's really their offense that's a big concern, especially now this was their first game without Kelvin Benjamin. I mean, there's a huge concern. And then, was it Stewart too? Two fumbled balls?
Yeah, Stewart had 2 fumbles.
Yeah, can't hold on to the ball. Christian McCaffrey did have a breakout game though, and
McCaffrey was the only good thing about that game.
Yeah, which is definitely in contrast to how he started this year. So good to see him finally getting some big plays going.
Yeah.
Now a stretch of games that we picked incorrectly. Starting with the Colts at the Texans. Now, okay, granted, we haven't had a chance to discuss this on the podcast. It feels like an eternity ago.
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
we picked this game before we found out that Deshaun Watson had a torn ACL in practice.
Yeah, I was devastated. That was
Me too.
It's so much so that on my Christmas list I wrote that I want a Deshaun Watson Texans jersey.
Oh my god!
I was just like, I'm. You know what? I need to wear his name on my back. It's just as simple as that. Because he, say everything that you want about Watson, his talent on the field. he's a great person off the field too, and it's a real bummer that the day after the Houston Astros win the World Series, and that town is on such a high, and like the Texans are looking like they're turning into both an offensive and defensive, juggernaut of a team that could make it to the Super Bowl, and it just kind of all falls apart the next day.
I think he'll come back.
He will, and I think so because it's his different length than when he tore his ACL in 2014.
Yeah.
He actually played the game after he tore his ACL in 2014. Ooh. He actually played on that leg. Yep, he actually played on that leg against South Carolina. When he was with Clemson. And he was able to recover fine from that. We know what he did after that, those 2 years after that, where he had Heisman-worthy seasons. Of course, he never won either of those, but he was in the mix. And I'm very confident that he'll return fine. You've seen players go down with torn ACLs, and they end up returning fine. So I'm sure that the Texans will be and that Watson will be fine and the Texans will be fine next year. So, but I say the Texans season is over, especially after losing to the Indianapolis Colts, who somehow have 3 victories this season.
Yep, 2 of them against winless teams, but
yes, and then another one against a team that does not have their now franchise quarterback at the helm either. So. I can't really put much stock into what the Colts are doing other than Jacoby Brissett's playing well. Oh yeah, and Andrew Luck is also out for the year. They officially put him on IR.
They should have done that a lot sooner. But...
Yeah, and they were like, "Oh, he's gonna come back. Oh no, he's gonna come back this year. Oh, he'll be ready week 1. Okay, maybe not week 1, but he'll be ready week 4, and week 8 he's on IR again. So it's give me a break." Whoever's running the fucking Colts operation, they need out. That whole operation needs to go. So simple as that. 2 bad teams, unfortunately, in a matchup that won't matter down the line. Redskins at Seahawks. Oh boy, this was the surprise win of the weekend. The Redskins, they're finally getting their groove back after dealing with injuries a lot, and they still had injuries going into this game, but they were able to pull out. Kirk Cousins specifically had a really clutch drive at the end of the game after the Seahawks took a nice 14-10 lead, and the Kirk Cousins delivered an amazing game-winning touchdown drive to win it. And Seahawks tried to at least tie the game at the end, could not do it. Had to lead to a Hail Mary that I was hoping would actually complete because that would have been a lot of fun. Hail Mary by Russell Wilson. Didn't work out though. So Redskins 17, Seahawks 14, and Redskins back in the mix, and the Seahawks. Oof. I mean, I don't know how you lose a game like that, but there you go.
Lose a game like that and come back after it.
Well, yeah, they have only 4 days to prepare for the next game.
Right, which I think this week they'll be okay, but
yeah, for sure. But it's still like you gotta have to figure. I think granted the Seahawks also were without Earl Thomas, who's a big part of that defense, so I can understand struggling. I just was surprised at how that ended up working out. But hey, maybe the Redskins are a better team than we think. But let's move forward. Well, we'll see. The Cardinals at the Niners. We both picked the Niners in this game, but unfortunately...
Why?
Look, at some point, you'd hope that they would win a game. Maybe it'll be this week, but it wasn't last week as the Cardinals took care of business. And hey, you know what? Adrian Peterson had a nice game. I think that was really the difference. They were able to get it done, even with Drew Stanton at quarterback. So pretty nice, pretty nice win for the Cardinals. But I still think this season's lost for both teams, so not worth really dwelling on here. All right, the Chiefs at the Cowboys. Despite an amazing touchdown by Tyreek Hill at the end of the game,
That was awesome. End of the first half.
yeah, many people dub it the Hill Mary, in which Alex
Yeah.
Smith threw to Hill, who I believe was at like the 40 when he caught the ball, and was running towards the fenders and just slid his way through them all,
It
dodged
was
them,
an expert run.
and just got in the end zone. It was very fun to watch, and yep, they ended up taking they or at least pulled within 4 points of the Cowboys. They actually ended up taking the lead after that, but it wasn't enough. So after going to 17-14, Cowboys scored two more touchdowns, and it was over. It's 28-17. Cowboys, they're looking good. They're looking good now, but the question is, will they have Zeke this week? It's going to be the question of every fucking week for the rest of this goddamn season.
Yep.
and
And next season.
yeah, it's gonna just be really. Oh, yeah, maybe even next season, right?
Yeah.
I don't know.
At this
Like,
point.
I don't even know how we're gonna even predict this next that our Cowboy game this week. We'll talk about it. I think maybe we'll have to do what we did with Marcus Mariota a few weeks ago.
Right.
So there you go. Chiefs, by the way, I I feel really bad because this was a team that, like, it seemed like they were going to go on a hot streak. They would be doing what the Eagles are doing right now. But yeah, they're kind of slowing down. They have to get their defense
Get that
back in
shit
order.
together.
Yeah, get their shit together.
Yeah.
Raiders at Dolphins, and it was an alright game, I would say, considering the expectations going in. When you have two mediocre teams, you get pretty good game.
You get what you can.
Yeah, so 27-14, the Raiders ended up winning that one. So they moved to 4-5. They're still in it, but they're gonna need a hell of a run in order to get into the playoffs at this point. The Dolphins moved to 4-4. And I don't know. This team, like, they both, like, the Dolphins still have, like, they have these moments where, like, offense is pretty neat. Their wide receivers make incredible catches and all that. And their defense has played well at times, but it just never ends up coming together for them. They never end up pulling out the victory. In just the past 2 weeks, it's just been tough for them. So I don't really put much stock into them. Raiders maybe, but they really have to turn it around as well.
Yeah.
And last but not least, I know this is the game that you were waiting to talk about. The Lions
Oh.
at the Packers. Felt good, right? Lions win their second game at Lambeau in 3 years. And after like having like a 25 fucking season drought or something to that effect at Lambeau, they finally get they get their second win now there, and they moved to 4-4 on the season, winning 30-17. Packers dropped to 4-4, and yeah, things are not looking good for them. And I wouldn't even say Brett Hundley is the fault of this. The defense is not good. For the Packers.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Honestly, both teams are 4-4, but they're going in different directions.
yeah, I would agree with that. Yeah, because like I mean, I still feel like I need to really see the Lions. They had a great start to this year, right? But then, like,
Yeah.
the past few weeks, they kind of like they started going on a little bit of a decline. And this was a very nice victory to get. I just feel like I still need to see some more from the Lions to really feel like they're going to be turning around. They're going to be heading to the playoffs. But the Packers, meanwhile, yeah, this is, if they play like they did last night, I do not see them, making any splash going forward, or even maybe getting a win. Like this, it was just bad football last night. But Lions, hey, if they can dominate on offense, and get some hits on the quarterback, they finally got some last night. On defense, hey, maybe they could get some work in, get some wins in, and make a run. So we'll see what happens with that. All right, let's predict, because I don't really have a segment in between here, like we usually do. But I think we can just dive right into the picks here, for Week 10. You know, very interesting week, a lot at stake. So let's just go ahead. Oh, but by the way, I think we could at least do the standings actually.
Do you want to do that first?
Yeah. So we both went 7-6, but the significant change this week was that Gocubs guarantee ended up losing, unfortunately.
First time this season.
Yeah, and so he ended up losing 2 points. Now his extra point total is at 4 instead of 6. Mine stayed constant, did not get my team chaos, and I got my guarantee. So we're at now 28-24 is the score. So Gocubs is leading that, and he's also leading the picks by 1 game as well. So keeping it close.
Close one.
I'll take it being close than it being like a blowout.
Yeah, I like it.
I like it. All right, let's do our picks, and we're gonna start with the Seahawks at the Cardinals. Seahawks coming off of a surprise loss against the Redskins. Cardinals coming up with a nice win against the Redskins. Will momentum carry over, or will the Seahawks rebound?
Well, the thing is that the Cardinals played really well against the 49ers. So I don't think that that's going to be enough to take down the Seahawks, who, like, I saw something on Twitter today that was like, oh, who's the king of the NFC West? Is it the Seahawks or the Rams? Is that even a question? Are people actually debating that? Like, I don't know. I still think the Seahawks are a much more solid team than the Cardinals are right now, so I've got the Seahawks.
Are you the debate between the Seahawks and the Rams? You feel like the Seahawks are still the champions?
No, the Rams are.
Oh, okay.
But apparently a lot of people think that the Seahawks are still good, and I still do. I like the Seahawks.
Oh yeah, I mean,
clearly the Rams are like on a different plane of existence right now.
Yeah.
So
I would still say the Seahawks are good, and sometimes you just have one of those games where you get upset, and you can't really do much about it, but just try to rebound, and I think they will rebound in this on Thursday night. Nice victory, a nice uni matchup, by the way. You got the bright lime green uniforms against the black Cardinal uniforms, so it's like a weird, I don't know, weird glow in the dark type of thing going on there. Interesting. I'm liking it.
Yeah.
I'm trying to put a positive spin on these color rush uniforms. I try all the time.
It's so hard to, though.
But by the way, I sidetrack real quick. The Bengals Jaguars uniform combo. I know that a lot of people really hate both the Bengals normal uniforms and the Jaguars and the Jaguars normal uniforms. But the Jaguars teal versus the Bengals white versus and stripes, I thought was awesome. One of my favorite uni matchups of the season. I have incredibly bad taste, so that's probably the justification. Cool. But I liked it. Anyways, speaking of Bengals, Bengals at Titans. Bengals coming off a bad loss, Titans coming off a close win. Again, we could talk about momentum, but I don't know. Titans been iffy, and who knows about the Bengals though? What do you think?
Yeah, this one was actually just because of how iffy the Titans have seemed to me. I feel like the Bengals could maybe pull one out here, but the Titans still held their own against the Ravens, so I think they are pretty solid overall. So I'm going to do the Titans.
Yeah, I'm going with the Titans as well. If you can barely beat the Colts, I don't know how you could beat the Titans, but we'll see.
Yeah.
Let's do Vikings at Redskins. Vikings coming off a bye. Redskins coming off a huge win over the Seahawks. What will happen in this game?
I think that one of these teams is one of the best teams in the NFC right now, and the other one is in Washington D.C.
There you go. So
I've got the Vikings.
you got the Vikings. I really like the Vikings. I have them as my Super Bowl pick.
For now.
For now, I mean that's kind of like a it might be a little surprising if they get in, but we'll see. But I am going Team Chaos here.
Oh.
If you could take down the Seahawks, who knows? Maybe you could get down Case Keenum and the Vikings.
Maybe.
So I'm gonna go.
Speaking of the Vikings, Teddy Bridgewater's being activated this week.
Oh yes, that's right. That's another good story.
Probably won't play right away because he hasn't played since January 2016. But
yes,
still very exciting for that program.
Yeah, and I think that the Vikings are going to they're gonna have him as backup for now. So like he could play if Keenum goes down with an injury. But they're gonna try to keep him off the field a little bit here and there. But yeah, one of the best stories of the season right now. So I hope I'm wrong actually about this Team Chaos. To kind of keep that, maybe Teddy Bridgewater comes back, plays well, and then he gets to play in his home stadium in the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
I don't know, but I'm going with the Redskins just because their defense played really well against the Seahawks on Sunday, and if Kirk Cousins can play as clutch as he did as well on Sunday against a Vikings team that I think has the same level of defense. Maybe I think they're a little bit better than the Seahawks right now. I think that they can absolutely pull out a victory, especially since they're at home. So I'm going with the Redskins. I'm going Team Chaos. So
all right,
let's move forward. The Chargers at the Jaguars. All right. So let's see here. It's an even week, week 10. If we're going off the pattern, the Jaguars would lose, but they just got Marcel Darius, and that defense just got better. If Leonard Fournette comes back, he's been playing really well. I'm sure he will come back. That offense is starting to look good as well. They're going against a Chargers team that's 3-5. What do you think?
Look, I want to predict with the pattern, but I feel like it's at a point where the Jaguars maybe have their shit figured out on both sides of the ball. Definitely on defense, but maybe even on offense too. Especially if Leonard Fournette comes back. I've got the Jaguars. Hopefully, we don't get an even week wrong again.
Yeah, I'm going with the Jaguars as well. And the Chargers. They've had their moments. They've looked good. They played it close with the Patriots before the bye. So you never know. The Chargers could end up pulling the victory. But I just think that this is going to be the start of a hopeful turnaround for the Jaguars, and they just need to stop being on and off, and I'm rooting for them this week. Let's go on. Jets at Buccaneers. Ready for this one? Josh McCown revenge game against the Buccaneers for the first time. Ryan Fitzpatrick revenge game against the New York Jets for the first time. Just so much revenge in this game. What can be said about this matchup?
Both of these teams are featured in that NFL Red Zone commercial, or NFL Game Pass commercial, or whatever it is that DirecTV has with the It's Always Sunny guy, like the Jets in LA and the Buccaneers in a quaint little New England diner.
Yes.
Commercial.
Yeah.
That being said, Jets.
Going Jets. Yeah.
Because Buccaneers don't have an offense, and the Jets for some reason have an offense,
and they don't have a defense. Buccaneers have been one of the worst defenses.
The Buccaneers don't have a team.
That's pretty much true.
Out of the two teams that play in the Buccaneers Stadium in Tampa, between the Buccaneers and University of Southern Florida, I think the college team is better,
Yeah,
or at least has had better success this year.
that's. I mean, well, it definitely has had better success.
Yeah,
I mean, it's a hot take to say if the college team could beat the NFL team, though. It'll be interesting.
maybe. I
Anyways,
definitely think that Alabama could beat the Browns, but
well, yeah,
maybe USF beating Tampa Bay is a bit of a stretch.
yeah. Who knows? Um, and I want to get your approval on this one. I want to lock up the Jets.
All right,
Does that sound fair? I mean,
yeah, that's fine.
I know it's against the Buccaneers, but
Yeah,
my theory is that the Jets
no,
just
look, the fact that the Jets still seem so bad, it's like it's a good lock. I'll allow it. I
yes,
guess.
because my thing is yes, like you said, I think the Jets they they've found ways to win lately, and they're like a weirdly good team, but at the same time they're the Jets and they will find ways to lose. So I would not be surprised if like Fitz has a great game, or not, like I'm sure. But I just feel confident enough where the Buccaneers they just have been struggling so much that I would it would be a real shame if the Jets blew it against this team, but they can and they probably will. But I guarantee that they win.
Yeah.
So let's move forward. The Saints at the Bills. What I think a sneaky good game of the week. Bills have been playing really well at home, still undefeated at home. Now they get to host the Saints team, one of the best teams in the NFC right now. I like this matchup. What do you think?
Uh, yeah. The sorry, I totally just blanked what game we were talking about.
It's Saints at Bills.
Okay, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Fuck, it's been a long day.
No, it's okay. It's all right. It's all good.
I thought that's what you said, but
Yeah.
so yeah, the Bills just came off of a really bad loss, obviously, and the Saints are flying high, which I don't think anyone really expected this season, especially on the defensive side. Uh, more of a mission to
Oh,
got
you there? Uh-oh. We've lost Gocubs. All right. In the meantime, oh, you're back. Hello,
Saints,
Saints.
New
Okay,
Orleans.
there you go, Saints. Yeah, I'm gonna go with
Oh,
this. I'm gonna go with the Saints too. I think the hot streak for the Bills will end here, in terms of their home wins. But again, they found ways to win at home, so who knows what happens. But I just think the Saints have been really good lately, so go with them. Packers at Bears, and boy, is this going to be a different matchup compared to week
first
4.
Packers first game.
Yeah, week 4, when Packers Bears played the first time. The Bears, they're starting to get their defense going, and maybe Trubisky, maybe he'll finally have a breakout game against a Packers defense that hasn't really done that well. But you never know with Brett Hundley, and maybe they will finally break out. I don't know. This is a weird game and unexpected game that the Bears have a great chance of winning. What do you think, Go Cubs?
Yeah, this is going to be really weird, and I won't be able to watch this game live, unfortunately, because I have a concert this day. Actually, technically I could, but I'm going to be doing stuff because I have something from like 9 to 12, and then 12 to 3 I'm open, and then the concert starts at 3. So like I could watch into that window, but I'm doing stuff with the family. That's irrelevant. I'm going to Team Chaos this, and I'm going to put the Bears over the Packers just because, like, I didn't think I would be saying this on this podcast at any point, but the Bears are starting to like come up and be a relevant team again. Maybe not this year, but soon. And with the Packers just being as terrible as they are right now, and with how solid the Bears defense is, like, I think the Bears have what it takes. So Team Chaos, Bears.
Yeah, last week Packers were 4-3, went into the 3-4, went against the 3-4 Lions, and they both walked out with the same record at 4-4. This
Yep.
week, I think Packers walk in 4-4, Bears walk in 3-5, and they will both walk out with the same record. Bears
Oh, that
win.
would be awesome.
Bears win, and um, who knew that at one point in the season we would be locking up the Bears and Jets on the same
Yeah.
podcast.
What?
It's just really amazing. All right,
Incredible.
moving forward. Oh man, I love this. The battle of perennial losers. The Browns and the Lions. I say perennial losers for the Lions because they're one of Lions and Browns are both two franchises of who have been around for a very, very long time that never have gone to the Super Bowl. And of course, the Lions have the history of the 0-16 season. Browns just have been a mess ever since they came back to life in the late 90s.
Yep.
So, these are two teams that are trending in different directions, as you noted earlier. So, what do you think is going to happen in this game?
Look, the Lions when the Lions like shat the bed in every sense of the word. They eventually got a quarterback named Matthew Stafford, and Matthew Stafford is a pretty good quarterback who has wide receivers, who has a decent backfield, and who has a decent defense. The Browns have a decent defense, and none of the other things that the Lions have. And the Browns have been on the bottom for a really long time. What I'm saying is that the Browns are terrible, and I will continue to say that until they prove me wrong. But that's not going to happen. So I have the Lions.
Lions. Who's going to go 0-16? Browns or Niners?
God. Like, honestly, I think there might be a chance for both of them, too. But, well, God, I don't know.
I think I'm going to say neither this season because I just think that somehow
it's harder to go winless than it is to go undefeated.
Right, exactly. I think there's going to be a win in there somewhere for either of these teams, no matter how terrible they are. But yeah, I just right now I don't see the Browns pulling out the victory here. The Lions are at home. They're playing well. They're getting back into a groove. Maybe they'll make a run. I'm very interested. I actually hope that I hope I'm wrong about the Vikings in a way, because if they could win their next two games and the Lions can win their next two games, we'll have one heck of a Thanksgiving matchup on that Thursday. It could be fun. Let's move forward though. Steelers at the Colts. 6-2 Steelers, 3-6 Colts. I mean, I can't really say much about this matchup other than, if the Steelers were to lose to the Colts, they do not deserve the praise that they've been getting lately.
No, they don't.
This is just, that would just be a real shame for them to lose this game. But they should win, and they better prove it. Let's see. What do you think, Gocubs?
Yeah, the Steelers are just so they feel really dominant right now. At least from what I've seen, a couple close calls, but overall their ability to just shut down a team when that team is starting to get hot is really important. And something that I haven't really been seeing a lot this season. So I have the Steelers, no question. I don't know why I said Saints. Steelers.
Yeah, I have Steelers as well.
Did I cut out again? I think I did.
No, you're good. You're good.
Okay.
You hear me? I believe.
So yeah, Pittsburgh.
Okay, there you go. I don't think he still hears me.
Pittsburgh.
Oh, there you are. I hear you, man. I hear you.
Check.
Did you not hear me?
Check 1 2.
Did you not hear me? Oh man, Gocubs. Now he. I hear him. He can't hear me. That's a real shame. Anyways, yeah, I go Steelers. Let's move on in the meantime. Texans at Rams. Here you go. Texans lost to Deshaun Watson. lost to the Colts. Things could not be worse for this team, except for the fact that they're about to face the Rams, who are 6-2, just blew out the fucking Giants. Well, I mean, it is the Giants, of course, but
I am back.
Hi, okay. The Rams,
I think.
Texans and Rams.
Maybe not.
We're talking Texans Rams. Are you not? Do you not hear me? Oh my god! Every game, every single podcast, there are technical issues. Gocubs. Do you not? Okay, all right. In the meantime, Texans Rams is going to be a bad game to watch. Unfortunately, I thought it was going to be one of the fun games to watch if Watson was playing. Now it's not going to be as fun and makes me very sad and lonely inside. But it's okay. The Rams hopefully will put on a performance like they did last week, and they will win bigly. I say the Rams win. Gocubs is not back yet. We might have to go ahead without him for now. We'll see. Maybe. He actually left the call. Wow. This is just gonna be a common theme with this podcast. Unfortunately, it's a real shame. All right, let's move forward, and we'll come back and we'll get those picks from him. Cowboys. Oh. Hi. Texans Ram. Pick it real quick.
Rams.
There you go. Just before your internet goes out again. All right,
yes.
Moving on. Cowboys at the Falcons. This is the battle between the number 1 seed of the NFC last year and the number 2 seed of the NFC last year. One of them made the Super Bowl. It was not the Cowboys, so take that. But this is also a battle between two teams that are going in different directions. Cowboys won their last 3 actually. So they're in good shape. The Falcons have dropped 4 of their last 5. So really, really in rough shape. But can the Falcons turn around this time, or will the Cowboys continue to dominate? And we can try to put parameters in it if you want to, whether or not Ezekiel Elliott will start in this game.
Yeah, look, I honestly think that with or without Zeke, I think the Cowboys are going to win this.
You think that it's that bad for the Falcons right now?
Yeah, like they just aren't playing like they did last year, and they have almost the exact same team. Like it's so weird for me seeing this, and maybe the Panthers game would have gone differently if Julio Jones caught that ball, but obviously would have been a lot different. But yeah, I think the Cowboys just have a stronger base right now. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm gonna choose the Cowboys regardless of if Zeke plays.
Yeah, it's tough because Falcons are at home, and of course they have not played that well at home this year. They had that first opening stadium against the Packers and ended up having a great game with them against them, but then they lost to the Bills, lost to the Dolphins. And this would actually be the first time in like 3 weeks that they would be playing at home. They've been on the road against the Patriots, against the Jets, and then against the Panthers. They're finally returning home. So I think that's a factor. I don't know, man. I think I'm gonna. And if this is completely up to you, as well. Like because just so I feel like I want to pick the Cowboys if Zeke plays, but I might pick the Falcons if Zeke doesn't play because I do.
All right, that's fine.
We've
done conditionals before.
Yeah, because I think about it, and Zeke has really been a huge impact on that team as a nutshell. And I just think that the Falcons have been playing. They've been not playing well, but I think that they could turn around against a Cowboys team that, that their offense rather their defense is still, I don't think is still one of the premier units. Like the Falcons still have like the 12th best defense in the league. Like they're not as bad as they're advertised, you know. But it's just having to get that offense going. I think that they can do it in this game at home. But again, we'll see what happens. I say Falcons without Zeke, but with Zeke, Cowboys win.
Okay.
Moving forward, oh, Jesus Christ, that Cowboys Falcons game probably is gonna be like a really great game. It's gonna turn out, and I'm gonna be stuck having to watch the Giants at the Niners.
The 0-9ers.
The 0-9. Oh shit! Look at you. That's a good one. The 0-9ers. The Giants are coming off of a blowout loss. The Niners coming off a 10-point loss. What do you think?
You know what? I've been saying that a lot. Like to start my phrases, I've been starting all of them with "you know what."
Yeah, fair enough.
I think that maybe the Niners might get a win here.
Finally, at long last, they
win. Compared to what you said earlier, like who's gonna go 0-16? I think it's gonna be the Browns if either of them go 0-16 this season. Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Niners here.
Niners, for crying out loud, win this game. You can't lose to the Giants. You can't. You just can't. You're a better team than the Giants are by a long shot. I'm picking Niners. I kind of want to switch my lock actually, but I'll keep it. I'll keep it.
No, keep it. Jets.
I'll keep the Jets because fucking I don't know. The Giants will pull some shit. Anyways, Patriots at Broncos Sunday Night Football. All right. Look, Patriots 6-2, coming off a bye. They're usually really good on the bye. Broncos. Last time Brock Osweiler quarterbacked the Broncos against the Patriots, they ended up winning. But and they have and to be fair, they have a lot of the same cast. So, I mean, if they beat the Patriots, I'm gonna lose my fucking mind. But well, I don't think it's gonna happen. What do you think, Gocubs?
I don't think they're gonna win it. I'm gonna lock this game in the Patriots' favor.
Yeah, I will. Yeah, I will.
I'm finally using my Patriots lock.
Wait. You already locked up the Bears. Oh wait, I'm sorry. That was the Team Chaos. Never mind. I wrote it wrong. I wrote it wrong on my notepad. I apologize.
Oh.
All right. Yeah. Patriots. I think this is worth the guarantee because you never know. I mean, the Broncos defense might finally make a turnaround. But I think that it's safe to lock this up because the Patriots, they've played well. Their defense is still getting back up there, even though they're still like the last in yards per game and all that. So
yeah,
Patriots. I agree. All right, last but not least, Monday Night Football, Dolphins at Panthers. I see this as like a defensive battle. I don't know. I just don't think that offenses are really gonna shine in this game, but who knows? What do you think, Gocubs?
Keep pounding.
Keep pounding?
I
will pound with you. I say
thanks.
Okay. I will pick the Panthers in this one. And that means that we agreed on every game except for Vikings Redskins.
All right.
So that was and that was my Team Chaos game.
That was your Team Chaos. You agreed on my Team Chaos.
Yes. But. No, my justification for that was that the Packers have been in the postseason so many times, and they're
right.
betting on the fact that Aaron Rodgers may return at the end of the season or close to the end of the season, where they will be in prime position to just pick up where they left off and make it to the playoffs. I don't.
Not with this team. Aaron Rodgers is the. I said at another point that that I think that Aaron Rodgers will go down as one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. Maybe even the greatest number 12 of all time. And the only reason I say that is because this team is nothing without him.
Yeah. It really is. He really is a magic man for that team, and he's brought them to so many. He's brought them to the brink of success so many times, and they were successful once back in 2010. So I don't know.
Yep.
I hopefully. I mean, I don't know. I would like. I know that you probably wouldn't, but I would like to see another Super Bowl in Aaron Rodgers' lifetime because I think he deserves it. But we'll see.
I think so too, but not this year.
Yeah, this year it seems like a long shot.
Yeah.
Last thing before we go, we have a few last things to do, but before we end our picking segment, I'm gonna give you a matchup, and I'm going to ask you to just, you don't have to give any analysis, just go with your gut, okay? Ready?
Okay.
Ready? Michigan State versus Ohio State.
Ohio State.
Georgia versus Auburn.
Georgia.
Wisconsin versus Iowa.
Wisconsin.
Notre Dame versus Miami.
Miami.
TCU versus Oklahoma.
Oklahoma.
Oklahoma. I agree with almost all of that, except for Auburn. I think Auburn's gonna end up winning that game against Georgia in an upset. I like it. Anyways, yeah, big game, big weekend for college football as well. Hence why I wanted to do that, because those are all the major ranked matchups, as well as Alabama versus Mississippi State. I left that one out if you want to predict that one.
Is there even a need to?
Yeah, I did think so. So, anyways, so good stuff there. But unfortunately, we have to talk about the Hollywood Stars.
Do I have to?
Hollywood Stars.
So I had a lot of buys this week, and I made a lot of dumb decisions. And one of my players got ejected, and the other one had 2 fumbles, and my defense didn't get me any points, and I lost by 2 fucking yards to a dude who hasn't adjusted his roster since he drafted. I'm gonna leave it at that. Next week, if all my waivers go through, which I'm hoping they do, I will have Ben Roethlisberger, Melvin Gordon, C.J. Anderson, A.J. Green, Devonta Parker, Kyle Rudolph, Juju Smith-Schuster, Bears defense, and Ryan Suckup. I might switch wide receivers. Who knows?
Yeah. I can. I apologize for the Tyler Lockett suggestion.
All right.
Tyler Lockett was. I thought since he connected a lot with Russell Wilson, thought he would have a solid game against the Redskins defense.
Look, I'm the one who asked you and second guessed myself, so that's on me.
No, it's all good. Tyler Lockett was not going to be reliable going forward though, because that was just a weird game. So I can understand dropping that. Sanu, maybe rely on him.
I don't
too.
think I'm picking up Sanu either.
That's true.
I've got things planned out, especially with having Juju and having AJ Green still. Devonta Parker and Macklin are both doing pretty well.
Any ability to get Benjamin or no?
Other people in the league have him.
Oh, okay, because I was gonna say that would have been prime, but I can understand that other people probably had him when he was with the Panthers.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Yeah, I mean, look, you have to overcome a little adversity in order to get.
Look, I'm sitting at 63, second overall in both my division and the league. Like, I'm gonna hang on fine for the playoffs. It's still getting there, putting myself in a better position to win during the playoffs. And during the playoffs, there are no bye weeks, so I'll be good.
Yeah, you should be all right. But by the way, there is another fantasy league that we are.
You won. I know.
All right, fine. You just blow that whole segment up. That's fine. Nah,
big fun and dance by your all-rookie team. That's somehow going to win the league.
We'll see about that. I had a crushing blow though with Watson going down.
Oh
Uh,
yeah.
so I don't think it's gonna be very hard for me to keep on to try to win games here. But we'll see what happens. But yes, I bested you in fantasy, so we now our series overall is tied. Do we play
Yeah, we
it?
don't face each other again, so
No, it sucks. Unless we,
unless it's in the playoffs.
yeah, I was gonna say maybe we'll have a playoff battle. That'll lead to some tension. Anyways,
No, it won't.
no, it won't. Yeah, we're pretty solid. We're,
Yeah.
uh, competitors, fair game. Fuck you. Anyways, guys,
Okay.
no, I'm kidding. Anyways, guys, thank you all so much.
Wait, Chris, didn't you say we're going to predict division winners?
Is that what we did? Was that the segment that I was supposed to do earlier?
Maybe.
Fuck, I forgot. All right, cool. Let's do that real quick before we end it off.
Okay. So
Um,
we're just doing division winners and not playoffs, right?
yeah, we could just do division winners. I mean, if you want to throw in the wild card teams, you can.
Okay.
But yeah, let's go ahead and you can list them off if you like. I will. Well, let's do one division at a time.
All right.
Let's do NFC East.
Okay. This is very easy. I don't think the Eagles are budging from this top spot. Eagles.
Eagles as well. North, NFC North.
NFC North. You know what? Uh, just to be a little different, because a lot of these seem pretty. Most of these divisions seem pretty clear cut to me right now.
Mm,
So I want to have at least two, like at least like one surprise per league is
right.
what I'm gonna go with. So NFC North Lions are gonna win the division.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised on that. I think
Yeah.
uh, yeah, I would like to see the Lions prove it. Just give me a few more games and kick ass in them, and then I'll accept it.
Be a believer.
Yes, I'll believe. I'll be a lion. Um, and I'll pick the Vikings though for now, as division winners. NFC South.
NFC South, I got the Saints.
Yeah, I have the Saints too. This is
Like
yeah, it's
keep pounding, but the Panthers, like I said, just like are skating by on such a thread right now
yeah.
that I don't think they'll be able to overcome the Saints. Maybe still make the playoffs, but not overcome the Saints.
Yeah, I agree. I think the Saints will end up winning that division. What about the West?
The West, Rams.
Rams, yeah. Wild
I
card.
think the
Go ahead.
the the additional wild card teams are going to be the Seahawks and the Panthers.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be Cowboys, Seahawks. Or I mean maybe the Lions. I think the South NFC South. I thought there would be like three teams out of that, but
Yeah,
considering how poor the Panthers and Falcons have been playing, like I mean they've been winning games for sure, and if they just keep on finding ways to win, like I mean that's what's gonna end up mattering. But I just think in comparison to the way the Cowboys have been playing lately, if that's of course if they keep Zeke. I mean there's so
yeah.
much that's riding on there. I think the Lions would replace the Cowboys
I
if
think the
not.
Cowboys will be okay because the judge has Zeke on his fantasy team.
I don't know about the facts there. That might be fake news. Well, I think the Cowboys will be in it if Ezekiel Elliott wins or like wins his lawsuit or at least survives for
Yeah,
the rest of the season. If not, I would say the Lions put them in there. Um,
yeah,
and the Seahawks. I just think the Seahawks are always going to be in the playoffs right now. Like they're Russell Wilson himself is just playing way too well for that not to
yeah.
happen. All
That's a
right,
Big Ten coming up right there.
yeah, there you go. AFC. Let's start with the East.
It's impossible for me for the any word but Patriots to come out of my mouth.
Yeah, I mean the Bills are close behind them, but I mean they're gonna have to really shock me in the coming weeks to see
Yeah.
for me to say otherwise right now. I'm gonna go Patriots. I've said this before. I do think the Patriots were very overhyped coming into the season, and I think there is a concern about how dominant they will be down the stretch, but I think they'll be good enough to win the division, and we'll see how they handle the playoffs going forward.
Yeah.
And especially where they're seated as well. What about the North?
The Steelers. The rest of the North is trash.
Yeah, I gotta go with the Steelers too because I just don't. I don't really see anyone topping.
I think the Steelers are great and are Super Bowl contenders, but this decision is entirely based on the other three teams being trash.
Yeah, I'll go Steelers as well. South.
South. I'm gonna go with the Jaguars.
I'm going Jaguars as well.
The Titans are similar to the Panthers in where they're just barely beaten,
right.
The really bad teams. So it's not going to be able to last them 8 more weeks.
I agree. West.
I think the Chiefs are still going to hang on. I don't think the Chiefs are going to be one of the top 2 seeds, but they're going to hang on. And
yeah, it's really tough for me to see any of the other teams starting around right now.
Yeah,
it's like you said, it seems like the division winners are cut out right now, but hell, you never know I mean, I think the biggest division that has like a little obscurity right now is maybe the NFC North.
Yeah,
because the Packers, tanking the way they are right now, it seems like it kind of opens it wide open.
Right.
For anything to happen. So yeah, I'm gonna take the Chiefs right now in terms of the AFC West. Wild card teams.
This is a lot harder than the NFC because I'm not sure what teams are gonna rise up and be over and be over 500 by the end of the season. But that's maybe a bit negative. But I'm gonna go with the Bills, and God, I don't know who else to pick.
You want to hear my 2 at first?
Sure.
I'll do Bills Chargers.
Chargers. Okay, that's. I wasn't expecting that.
The reason why I say Chargers is because I think that their momentum is starting to pick up. I don't know if they're going to get the victory this weekend, but I think that they can start winning games.
I think I would pick them if the record was higher, but like a 3-6 team coming back right now to making the playoffs. That's as trash as the AFC seems right now. I don't know if that's going to happen.
Yeah, I don't know. They after the Jaguars rather. They have the Bills, which will probably be tough. The Cowboys, which might be tough.
Yeah.
Let's see. After that, though, then they have the Browns.
But they did lose to the Browns last year.
They did. Then the Redskins. Then the Chiefs. All right, so I see what you mean. Then they have the Jets, and then the Raiders. I believe they finish out with. Yeah, it's gonna be a tough schedule for them. It's just hard for me to see anyone else. I mean, maybe the Titans. I mean, the Titans just need to keep on winning games. They need to just.
They need to keep on having just the weirdest wins possible. So I'm gonna go. I'll go with the Titans.
Yeah, I
think
the
second wild card.
Maybe I'll flip over here too because
Okay.
Kevin Byard. You may not know that name, but
nope.
He's been a very great defensive back for this team because he has had many, like 5 interceptions in like the last 2 games, I believe. Been a huge factor for that defense in getting victories. And the offense. If they could get that offense going, if they could start getting that momentum going, if Corey Davis, who just returned from injury, starts playing well, Eric Decker, he starts getting back into his mood, and Marcus Mariota starts playing well again, in the running game, there's so much that needs to go well for the Titans. Maybe they could turn it around. And since they're 5-3, it's hard for me to pick against them. So,
yeah,
I'll go with them. So. But I do think the Chargers have a chance, and maybe the Raiders. But the Raiders have I think a tougher schedule than the Chargers do. So both of them are in the mix. Maybe Dolphins. Maybe Dolphins.
Maybe.
So we'll see. All right, that is it for our podcast tonight. I hope you guys all enjoyed. Again, week 10. Hoping for some fun, some magic, and who knows? Who knows? I root for chaos, and so I will be totally fine with a 1-12 record for the week or 1-13 record for the week.
I think you'll be a bit better than that. Don't worry.
Yeah, I'm ready for all hell to break loose in this league, and I hope that happens this week. So I wish it upon you. I cast the spell. And everything will go the way we expect it to. Anyways, any last words, Go Cubs?
Go watch The Good Place. It's a really good comedy.
There you go.
That's my last words.
You got the recommendation.
Season 1 is on Netflix.
Hey.
You can find most of season 2 on NBC's website. It's some good shit.
Yeah.
If you like Parks and Rec, you'll like it.
Hey, there you go. I was gonna. I thought I had something that came to mind, and now I lost it. So now I'm sad as we end this podcast. Something came to mind. I was just like, oh yes, let's talk about that. And I'm like, oh wait, now I don't remember what that thing is. It's clearly not important. Anyways, enjoy the rest of your week, guys. We'll see you next week. As we delve deep into the double digits. So be good to one another, be kind to one another, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.
So long.